to Enlightenment of Change on webtalkradio.com. I'm your host, Connie Whitman. I'm excited that you're here this week. So here's the deal. I'm mixing things up today. It is just me going solo with you. And I have a reflection that I want to share with you from a recent movie my husband and I watched. I think you'll find it interesting. Before we begin, I know that word change, we hear it and we go, yikes, what do we do next? So to help you on your journey of change, go in the show notes and you will see my communication style assessment. You will get 2 reports. You guys know the routine. One report will spotlight your natural communication superpowers. Kind of important to know so that we can lean into that and build on that strength. Flip side, lowest score, usually a blind spot. Sometimes I think that's the more important report for you to look at and really delve into, because when we're communicating with people who are 180 degrees different than us, that's where our message might not be landing the way we hope. And that's where disconnections could come. And the communication style could truly help you just communicate from a place of ease and grace. So that is my gift. It is in the show notes. And I hope you take it and enjoy the reports. Now, my motivational quote to set the stage for this movie I'm going to talk about in a minute is by Mike DeVine. And Mike says, governing is about making tough decisions, but it's also about figuring out a better way to do things. So today I'm mixing it up, right? And I'm going to do this solo show. Recently, like I was saying before, my husband and I watched a movie. It's called Hillbilly Elegy by Ron Howard. And it's a real honest memoir about JD Vance. I promise this is not going to be a political show. And it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you sit on. It's not about politics. This is about choice and change, and how this movie, I hope, will empower you the way it has inspired me. So the movie is about, I believe, at the core, living the American dream when all odds are stacked against you, in this case, JD Vance. You have to see it to believe it. And I think that our kids should be watching this movie because it really is a testament of hard work and showing up and putting in the time and doing sometimes what we don't always want to do, but what those pivotal moments can create in our life. Just as an aside, Glenn Close plays JD's grandmother in the story. And oh my goodness, she is just fabulous. And the whole story, the way it unfolds, it's really quite compelling and inspiring, just to take change or make change in your life that you choose, or a position of power within ourselves. So I want to make a couple of points that I personally took away from the movie. Now, I always reflect when I'm with my clients, and I really listen to my clients and what's going on in their life. What is their struggle right now? And too many times I hear people say things like, well, I have to stay at this job, or I have to stay in this relationship that I'm in right now because I don't have a choice. And then they footnote that I don't have a choice because I have rent, I have mortgage, I have a car payment, I have kids, I have college, whatever. The list goes on. And they feel debilitated to the point where they can't make any changes. And I believe that by not making a choice, right? I don't have a choice. I can't change. You're actually making a choice because you're not doing anything. So not doing anything is a choice, just like moving forward would be a choice. So what I've observed, again, right, doing these reflections, because I'm reflecting a lot when I'm with my clients. I want to make sure I show up for them with what they need right here, right now, as well as hopefully becoming a planning partner for the future. So what I've observed is our ego, oh my goodness, and our little reptilian brain, it is alive and well, and it is trying to keep us safe. But here's the bigger question: to what end? I challenge you to watch the movie and see how Ron Howard just shows these pivotal moments of change and choice. And it's done through JD Vance's reflection and memories of his past as a child, being with the family in Kentucky, hillbillies, and then moving to Ohio, where it was struck with poverty after the plant closed down. And the movie just unfolds with the tough situation that we find ourselves in often. Life, right, can be cruel. But then choices that can or cannot be made, and what that ends us or brings us to that next piece of our life. So here's some of my takes. Number one, the American dream is clearly alive. You know, JD Vance, I think he's 39 years old, literally came from nothing. Like I said before, family was from Kentucky, moved to Ohio. Here's the key piece of the puzzle. His mom was an addict and his grandmother had to step in and raise him. So her impact on his life was unbelievable. And they go back and reflect on her life with an abusive husband and other things. So this is a multi-generational situation that JD found himself in, and then how he changed and pulled out of it. The second reflection or thought I had was the family at the end of this, right? Crazy as our families could be, the family was crucial in his development. And throughout the movie, Ron Howard just does a really nice job of showing those memories, reflections, flashbacks, if you will, of his life, of JD's life, when he could have made another choice, stealing, bad crowd, whatever it might have been, drugs, etc., and not become the man he is today. And these reflections show how he moved really from this hopeless victim situation to this hopeful and victor of a young man. I believe the movie was based on a book that he published, and he sold like 5 million copies back in 2020, I think. The movie is from 2020 as well. So this is all recent stuff. This young kid has done amazing things out there, and I think we should be inspired by it. So here's my third thought reflection. It really is all about personal choice. So he could have easily blamed his family, poor situation, for saying, what are you going to do? This was the bad hand that I was dealt. But instead, he made the choice at the end when he turned 17, graduated from high school, went to the Marines, got out of the Marines, and then went to Ohio State, finished his undergraduate degree in 2 years, and then went on to Yale to become a lawyer. And the whole time he had to work full time to pay for the education. So when I tell you he did not take the easy way out, he did not take the easy way out. A fourth and last reflection is none of his choices were easy. Man, oh man, they show you through the movie that he had to make some really tough choices, like leaving his mom when he was trying to get her into an institution to help her with her addiction. And he had to choose to leave because he knew he wouldn't have been able to help her had he stayed. So he was determined to, at the end of all this, help his family. And that was one of the biggest catalysts for changing himself and then creating these big opportunities by putting in the time, the effort, and the hard work. Like I said, best-selling author. Now he's running with Trump, whether you agree with Trump or not. This, again, I'm not making this political, but think about this 39-year-old achieving this level of success. I don't think it's by accident. So, of course, I have a call to action for you. Watch the movie, man. Take the time with your family. And if you have kids, especially teenage kids, watch the movie because it really shows you a path of choice, right? Of change and choice. And it's not always easy, but what is possible at the end of that? Holy smokes, right? Magic happens. So watch the movie. And I really challenge you to watch it with an open mind and pay attention to those reflections where JD chooses different things in his life so that he could make things possible for that next step for him to grow to the next level. And here's the thing, watch it from your frame of reference. How can you implement some of the strategies that he did or he used in his life so that you can get to, even if it's a baby step forward, it's a baby step forward. Why not, right? Time marches on. Why don't we march forward and grow ourselves the best we can? And then the other thing is watch without judging his family. That was a tough one for me. It was heartbreaking to watch this, especially as they show him as a little kid and the mom being an addict and being a mom, right? It's hard to watch without judgment, but I really challenge you to do it because we all have our demons. We all have our challenges. So, he who casts stones from the glass house, be careful. You don't want a stone coming back in your direction. And instead, watch with an open heart and mind to see what's possible here in the United States, but also in your own personal life and within your life, your family life as well. I promise you, man, you're going to walk away being inspired and believing in the American dream again. And you're going to believe that anything is possible as long as here's the deal. We got to stand up. We got to make the choice to change. And we have to make that choice to move forward. And again, whatever that means to you, to your family, to your career, whatever it might be. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the show. Again, it's just me solo, but I hope my reflection on that movie has inspired you to at least watch it and see what you take from it. I thought it was a pretty cool movie. I thought Ron Howard did an outstanding job. Glenn Close, man, oh man, wonderful acting on her part. And I learned a few things. So that's always a good thing in my world. So again, watch with an open heart, open mind. Don't judge self too critically and see what magic happens in your life. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you will join me weekly as we question, build, and discover together, no matter where you are on the change in your life. I hope that in today's show, me and my inspiration behind the movie gives you something to do, entertaining, but also inspiring. Thanks for joining me. You've been listening to Enlightenment of Change with me, your host, Connie Whitman, on webtalkradio.com. I am inspired that you join me every week to just challenge ourselves and grow. Again, your call to action is an easy one. Watch the movie, report back. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. There is hope, people. There is hope in the world. Be inspired. I love you, and I'll see you all next week. Have a great one, everybody. Thanks a million.